You know what? It was great, and to see him driving a few runs and a couple big, huge hits, and it was. I think that when you imagine a debut, 50,000 people, and big hits and contributing to a huge win, and players going crazy for him. So it's something that he'll obviously remember, and this is something where a non-roster invitee this spring and had a great year in AAA, and he earned that opportunity and took advantage of it today.
This is something where a guy like that, at this weird time period between the trade deadline and September call-ups, can provide an offensive spark for your club.
I think so. Yeah. You know what? And we needed a boost, versus left-handed starters. And that's pretty much well documented. But, so for him to get an opportunity and for us to get a little shot in the arm from Rob Segedin, definitely a big lift.
I understand the matchup. Is it difficult to take a guy out like that has 4 RBIs in that double switch situation?
No, right there in the double switch situation, she was going to get one more bat. And, where we were at, the pitcher was going to go 1+. So it's kind of the mechanics of working a National League game. And we felt we were going to upgrade the defense. He hasn't played too much out there in the outfield. So it was, for me, it made sense.
You've known Adrian for a long time. Can you just speak to the 300th home run for him?
Yeah, you know what? I've seen a lot of those homers, and with me and against me. And so 300, that's a big number. And he's a guy that, very underrated, I think, right now in his career, and the stability that he brings to a club. And so to, get that big hit for us to get the extra insurance, but also for him personally, I think that, he doesn't really thrive and care much about individual accomplishments, but that's a big number and a lot to be said for his career.
Is Brandon okay?
You know what, Brandon, physically is fine. I think just mechanically he's out of whack. And, he had feel for the breaking ball today, but that four-seam fastball really had no command of or feel, and he was just kind of chucking it up there. And, similar in Denver. So, I know that he and Honey are going to get back and work through some things. So, right now, I think, as I understand it, he's healthy. So we expect him to make that start on Saturday.
He has said that in researching the Tommy John and talking to people who've gone through it, that it's normal to kind of lose feelings sometimes like that in games. You said it's mechanical. What do you know as far as like the research side of it that can happen as far as what's going on with him?
Very little. And obviously, yeah, he's coming back, and you look at the first 3-4 starts were pretty effective, and the last 2 not so much. And the command just hasn't been there, and I don't know. All I can go by is what he's telling us, and he says physically he's fine, his arm, his elbow. But as far as there is something to the mechanics, but there is something to the feel. And so I don't know where it gets down from the elbow to the fingertips, but there is some feel that he doesn't have right now. Despite that, how nice was it for him to escape 3 or 4 jams there and at least get as far as he did end up going? It was. And I think that, with Mac and, with his competitiveness and not wanting to let the team down and add another burden to the bullpen. So you saw that. You saw he's just frustrated because he wants to perform. And so, for him to still give us 3 innings, 3 is better than none. And he didn't have his best stuff, so he found a way to wiggle out of some jams and give us a chance to win.
What impressed you from the bullpen today?
The bullpen, I think that these guys just continue to take the baseball under some dire situations, to be up, in the second inning or the first inning, and then to be called upon in the third inning or the fourth inning. And it's kind of something that's happened to these guys more often than we would all like. But they answer the bell. And even when they're not their sharpest, you can look at Louis today and wasn't really sharp. And Joe Blanton, not really sharp. But they still find ways to get guys out and pick one another up. So I think that as a group in the bullpen, with this season, they've really formed a pretty nice little bond and trying to pick one another up.
Things didn't go your way in Colorado. You lose the opener pretty bad in this one. How nice is it to rebound these 2 games and then move a game behind the Giants?
Yeah, you know what? This is a good club over there. And, it's always tough to win in Denver, but for us to win a game and, to come here back home and win a series against a pretty good ball club says a lot about us. And I think that, the offense picked us up big today. The offense, obviously led by Segedin, but we had some big hits, some big at-bats. And, as the bullpen did their job, but today, you got to really, give credit to the offense.
What did you see differently from Chavez tonight his first two starts with the team where he struggled?
Yeah, Chavi, going after hitters, try not to be too fine. And I think that right now it hasn't been as smooth of a start as he would like, in a Dodger uniform. But I think that, he and Honey are working on some things mechanically and watching video and trying to maximize his mix, his pitch mix. So today was a positive, and, he wants to be great. He's happy to be here. So we just got to continue to put him in the right spots. And, there's a lot in there. There's a lot more in there from Chavi.